morning, good morning. Uh, Today is April 18th, 2020. It's cold out here, man. It's been raining a little, but it's cold out here. So I will encourage y'all to listen to Interview with the Devil. Now, before you get off on your tangent, I understand it's an interview with the devil, but at the same time, this interview, the way it is scripted, or let's say the way it's put together, it overall provides a different perspective into what we do on a daily basis. And the reason, the video is 3 hours long, and I'm 50 minutes into it, but I can't stop rewinding, and it's gonna mess around, take 5 hours to watch a 3 hour video. But he talks about some of the you. First of all, he talks about what he is. If you think of an atom, at the center you have a nucleus, and the other two parts of that is a proton and an electron. Well, as most people think, the proton is God. That's the positive energy. That is the plus in the universe. Well, the other side, the electron, is the negative, the minus, the destructive force of the universe. But they're in constant rotation of each other. The atom does it. The full cycle of a day does it, whether you go from day to night. Um, we cycle around the moon. So cycles has been around in space. You have lights that illuminate. I mean, you have stars that illuminate light constantly. You have black holes that eat everything constantly. So you see this push and pull applied throughout the universe, even from the smallest atom to whatever lies at the end of the space. But is there. But what he claims to be is God is the positive, and he is the negative. Now, the kicker is, like most people, when they think of the fallen one, they think of this spike tail monster. And he tells you that he was the most beautiful angel in a heaven. So what we are expecting to see when we see evil, it's not that. He used well hidden devices and techniques to lead us astray. And one of the ways that he does that is through the idleness of the mind. He said that he used to control 100% of mankind until they started to think for themselves. Then once they started to think, that positive thought spread like wildflower, and that's when he started to lose control over 2%. He still controls the other 98, but that 2%, uh, he's lost control over. Now, when it comes to animals and stuff like that, they are bound under a law of nature, which animals, unless dealing with humans, they don't violate that law. So the idleness of the mind. The second thing he said, well, this might not be in order, but one of the second things he's talked about was fear. Now, he stated that he uses fear in a way that causes you to drift. If you believe that you can start a business, well, he will put so much fear in your mind that you won't take a step to do that. Or you might conquer that original fear, but once you get out here and start failing, you let that opposition to your plan deter you, which causes you to drift. Um, but he also said that there is blessings in failure if it doesn't allow you to drift. So if you're out here trying, he said two out of 10,000 people can continue to try after their second or third failure. And those are the people that belong to the positive force, the God in their life. He's not worried about them. But everybody else, they will cause to drift. And once you start drifting, It lowers your inhibition. It lowers your commitment. It heightens your procrastination. You're more willing to do folly or foolish things. Like it, the drifter is someone who is unable to control his own mind. He allows situations, people, emotions to persuade his thinking. Versus the non-drifter, he is definite, not definite. He is solid in his foundation. He knows what he wants. He will not let anything, even egotism, deter him. And the reason I bring up ego because as a man, ego is one of the things that ego and pride is one of the things that we fall short. Once somebody starts stroking our ego, we're all on board, But we have to get that under control. Uh, Now, another thing that he used outside of attacking our egotism and causing us to drift, he uses propaganda. Propaganda is literally believing something with no evidence or, I guess, proof. Uh, you just believe it. What the media does, um, what social media does, anytime you just see something, you automatically believe it. Yeah, I'm outside in the cover. I just realized. Uh, Propaganda where he'll put negative stuff in front of you constantly and you immediately are able to hear about negative things that's happening in the world. Now why is this beneficial? Because the mind is one of the most powerful things. So if we're constantly hearing something, if we're constantly believing something, if we're constantly giving in to something, that thing we're giving into becomes who we are and eventually becomes a part of reality. Uh, and that's where we ourselves fall short because we believe in that fear. We give life to that fear. One of the things that shocked me when I heard it is that when Eve was in the Garden of Eden and the serpent approached her, Eve literally gave life to that serpent. What do you mean, Tyler? All right. God gave dominion to Adam and Eve. All right, so it was already over everything that was there. Um, so when Eve started talking to the serpent, first she had to look down at the serpent. Then she had to tune in to whatever deceit he was providing. And what I mean by that, uh, she's seen that tree a million times. I'm saying a million times, and it looked the same. But once the fallen one said it was good for food and pleasant to the eye, the veil was pulled over her eyes and it changed the way she saw because as humans we are naturally greedy when it comes to stuff that we don't have. So the thing that we don't have she looked at a million times, but until somebody told her that it was good for food or uh, pleasant to the eyes, nothing happened. So he activated her imagination and own greed inside her to go eat this, and then she gave it to her husband. Now Adam, right then and there, because it says that he was with her, he could have put a stop to it, but you have to think about that. Adam did not have anything to go against, so to speak. Like it was all Adam knew was God, the garden, his wife, and himself. That's all he knew. Uh, Now, even though that encompasses a lot of knowledge, but that's all he knew. There was no punishment. So part of me thinks that when Eve was sitting there watching, he was like, I wonder what's going to happen to her. Okay, here she go. Here she go. Mouth opening. She biting. Oh, she about to blow up. Nope, nope. What? Nothing happened. Self sufficiency kicked in. doubt kicked in because the lack of the limitation of the human mind couldn't fathom that death meant the disconnection from God, not the physical death itself, even though that was later on. And so hell begins. But not to get off subject, which I did. That's how he uses propaganda. He puts stuff in our mind, and our mind then take over and develop a whole new scenario of something that never happened. That's with all three of these used together. I don't know how to. I haven't got all the way to the end of it, but I'm gonna come back on here and let y'all know. Another thing that he stated was that he used to have control over all of humanity before humans started to think. And that first thought was a positive thought or something like that. And was that my question is, was that the let there be light, let there be rotation, let there be positivity in this negative world? I don't know. Uh, but I'm trying to get my mind to think about things that are higher than me, things that are beyond my current viewpoint, things that are past my own understanding. That's the only way I can get myself to a new level. I start to think on a new level. So listening to this, even though I was skeptical started, it is showing me that this is hell on earth. And once we leave here, it will start an appraisal or reviewing of our choices made here and the strength that we acquired. Because I think after this world, true strength is required. True strength, because that is, they say that is two parts to hell. Abraham's bosom, which is the paradise after you pass, and there's the torment. I like word worship really goes down, you know. But I don't know. Lost my train of thought. Stuff really goes down. Well, either way. But he talks about, thank you, God. He talks about how things have transpired over the years and how the more we gain over our own mind, the more control we gain over our own mind, the more we become of a threat to him, the more powerful we become. He even stated that the rich are the people that were non-drifters, people that were able to set a goal, a long-term goal. Everything that he did worked toward the goals while hitting little smaller goals in between. He even went far as to say, if you want to defeat him, start to think. So I want to go as far as say, if you want to defeat all the negativity, all the bad stuff that's going on in life, I encourage you to think, get rid of fear, and wholeheartedly stop doubting yourself. Your mind is connected to a power that's undescribable. So when you have visions of greatness, visions of prosperity, visions that just don't make any sense, just don't make any sense. It's your brain telling you that, dude, it's the time. Like your brain knows more than you understand. Your brain controls your body, but you control your brain. So the stronger you get, the stronger your brain gets, the stronger your body gets. So literally, it's a trifecta. So I encourage you to train all three. And I look forward to listening to the rest of the interview and go from there. But either way, and then be blessed, be beautiful, and have a great day.